Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're diving headfirst into one of the absolute most talked about advancements in tech right now, Google's Gemini Spark. You've probably seen the hype, right? The promise of a digital assistant that actually does your work for you. But how much of that is reality and how much is just clever marketing? We're going to break down the absolutely incredible technology powering this ambitious new tool, and we'll also take a hard look at the reality of using it every single day. Get ready, because this is definitely going to change how you think about your digital workflow.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll meet your new AI agent, check out the engine under the hood, and see how Spark operates right on your desktop. Then we'll explore the Google Data Advantage, hit on the big redundancy problem, and finally answer, is it actually worth it?
Section 1. Meet your new AI agent. Moving from chatbots to digital doers.
You know that daily digital grind? Sorting messy folders, compiling invoices, cross-referencing endless spreadsheets, it's exhausting. Now, for the last couple of years, AI has been great at answering our questions, but it hasn't really been able to take the mouse and just do those chores for us. Well, Google is pitching Gemini Spark as the exact solution to that problem. To get how it works, we have to talk about agentic AI. This isn't your standard passive chatbot just waiting around for a prompt. An agent operates autonomously in the background 24/7. You give it a high-level goal and it goes off and executes the complex multi-step tasks to get it done with very little input from you. It's basically the difference between asking an intern for instructions on how to file a report and just telling them, hey, go file the report.
Moving to Section 2, powered by Gemini 3.5 Flash, the engine under the hood. So how is this actually pulling it off? To execute these crazy long-horizon autonomous tasks, you need a seriously powerful AI model running the show behind the scenes. That engine is Gemini 3.5 Flash. And the absolute most crucial point here is speed. It boasts output speeds 4 times faster than other frontier models. Why does speed matter so much for an AI agent? Well, if an agent is going to work autonomously, opening your documents, searching the web, analyzing data, it needs to process all that info fast enough that it doesn't bottleneck your whole system or make you wait hours for a simple result. This blazing speed makes it actually reasonable to let Spark work in the background while you focus your attention on the stuff that really matters.
And this brilliantly illustrates how this isn't just some tech demo. Massive enterprises are already trusting this underlying technology. Look at the scale here. Shopify is using it to analyze insanely complex data for global merchant forecasts. Macquarie Bank is letting it reason through 100-page documents to speed up customer onboarding. Salesforce is automating huge enterprise tasks, and Xero is managing multi-week tax form workflows. This isn't just a fun consumer gimmick. The core tech, which is powered by Google's anti-gravity harness, is already doing heavy-duty, real-world lifting for some of the biggest companies on the planet.
All right, Section 3, Spark on your desktop, bringing the agent to macOS.
We've seen what it does for the corporate giants, but what about us everyday users? Check out these capabilities from the recent macOS beta launch. Once you opt in, Spark operates right from a really handy sidebar toggle in the Gemini app. With your permission, it autonomously accesses your local files and folders. Imagine you have a terrifyingly messy downloads folder just packed with random PDFs. We've all been there, right? Staring into the void. You literally just ask Spark to sort it and it handles it. Or say you have a folder full of scattered invoices. Spark can read them all and compile a neatly organized spreadsheet for you. It even tracks real-time news. The source material noted, you could ask it about live events, like the FIFA World Cup, and it'll pull highlights and analysis for you on the fly. It's incredibly relatable, and you can instantly visualize how helpful this would be living right on your own laptop.
Section 4. The Google Data Advantage, Personal Intelligence in Action.
Now, you might be wondering, what makes Spark so different from competitors like ChatGPT? It really comes down to something Google calls personal intelligence. Let me walk you through this super impressive workflow tested by PCMag just so you can see this in action. The reviewer simply told Spark, find me jobs that are a good fit for my background. That's it. No attachments, no long explanations. Step 1, Spark autonomously scanned the user's Gmail to dig up their latest resume and review past applications. Step 2, it jumped onto the web, searching for current job listings that matched that specific background. And Step 3, it compiled all those perfect matches into a clean Google Sheet. It's like magic happening right before your eyes. And the kicker? That entire automated workflow took about 5 minutes. If you used a competing agent, you'd have to manually upload your resume and painstakingly spoon-feed it context.
As the PCMag review perfectly summarizes it, Spark's secret weapon is Google's data advantage.
If whatever data Spark needs to complete a task exists somewhere within Google's data ecosystem, Spark can likely find it and put it to good use. But look, we absolutely have to acknowledge the elephant in the room here, the privacy trade-off. To get this level of capability, you are handing over the keys. You're giving an AI full access to your entire Google ecosystem, your emails, your private documents, your calendar. It's a massive exchange of data for convenience. But objectively speaking, that deep integration is exactly what makes the agent so highly capable.
Section 5. The big redundancy problem. Hitting the brakes on the hype.
Okay, we've talked about the magic, but now it's time to hit the brakes and look at the very real bugs you're going to encounter. AI agents just aren't perfect yet, and Spark is no exception. Here is where the agent stumbles, as impartially reported by reviewers. If you ask it to build a grocery cart, it often gets completely blocked by login screens on sites like Instacart, even if it's supposedly a connected app. It routinely struggles to navigate complex sites like Amazon. When it does deep research, like finding those job listings we just talked about, it still hallucinates or occasionally recommends totally dead web links. So ultimately, this frontier tech still requires human supervision. You can't just walk away completely. You definitely still need some prompt engineering to keep it on track. But honestly, the biggest frustration? It forces users to swap awkwardly back and forth between the standard Gemini interface and the new Spark interface.
And that reveals the ultimate dilemma here. A lot of Spark's headline features are completely redundant if you already use standard Gemini. Google boasts that Spark can scan your inbox for scheduled recaps. But wait, standard Gemini already has an AI inbox feature that does this on demand. Spark can create email-style guides? Well, Gmail already has a Help Me Write feature built right in. Spark can find jobs through ecosystem access? Standard Gemini can do the exact same thing if you just click a button to attach your resume or even use its own personal intelligence integration. The reviewer asks a genuinely great question. Why are we dealing with a totally separate, slightly clunky interface when standard Gemini already does 80% of this perfectly well?
Section 6. Is Spark worth it? Let's break down the true cost. Let's give you some actionable advice based on the most recent pricing updates from Google. $19.99 a month. When Spark first launched, it was locked behind a wildly expensive $99 a month AI Ultra plan. But Google just dropped a massive price update. Spark is now available on the far more accessible AI Pro tier, which costs just $20 a month. That completely changes the value proposition for everyday consumers.
But hold your horses before you get your wallet out. Let's break down exactly who actually has access to this beta right now. If you are a US user with that $19.99 AI Pro subscription, you get a yes, you're in. However, if you're a US user on the free tier or the cheaper $7.99 AI Plus tier, it's a no. Spark is not available to you yet. And crucially, if you live in the European Economic Area, the UK, Switzerland, or Nigeria, regardless of what you pay, the answer is currently a hard no due to regional rollouts. Which brings us to our final thought. The technology behind Gemini 3.5 Flash is absolutely breathtaking. Watching an AI autonomously organize your digital life is undeniably the future. But with the bugs, the redundancy, and that massive privacy trade-off, we have to ask, are you really ready to hand the keys to your entire digital ecosystem over to an AI agent? Or is your standard chatbot doing just fine for now? It's a fascinating question, and one we're all going to have to answer very soon, as this technology becomes the new normal. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep exploring.